Well, welcome everybody. Kevin Trudeau here. I'd like to welcome everybody from all over the world. I'm just amazed. I'm looking at the participants counter, just clicking in. It's 10, 20 more people, 30 more people, 40, 50, 60, 100 more people. And we have people on the call. I'd like to welcome everyone from all across the world. I'm just looking at the numbers here and where people are calling in from. Buckle up. Make sure you have a pen and paper to take some notes, because I'm going to be sharing with you some things that, if you apply them, can really make a tremendous difference in your life and help you get what you want out of life. And I'm just looking at these numbers. They just keep going up. People are joining the call right now. We have people from virtually, and I've been checking before while the video was playing, we have people from virtually all 50 United States, including Hawaii and Alaska. We have people from all over Canada, Toronto and Vancouver and Edmonton and Calgary and all other towns across Canada. We have people from Mexico. I see Panama. I see Guatemala, Brazil, Argentina, Colombia, Ecuador. I'm looking, we see Australia. Australia, it's the middle of the night there. We got South Africa, Ghana. We got people calling in from England, Scotland, Ireland, Romania, Albania, Greece, Italy, Switzerland, Belgium, France, Germany, Spain, Portugal. We have people calling in from Uzbekistan. Welcome. Morocco. Welcome. An amazing group of people. I'd like to welcome everybody. We have Austria. I just see Vienna there. Bulgaria. There's Bulgaria. Netherlands. West Africa. Russia. Afghanistan. Malaysia. Iran. Ukraine. Kenya. Philippines. Nicaragua. India. Sweden. Costa Rica. Slovakia. Paraguay. Michigan. Oh, only know Michigan. I said all 50 U.S. states. Norway, Chile, Bahamas, Bolivia. Listen, all over the world. If you're joining right now, you're just joining right now, I'd like to welcome everyone from all over the world joining this very, very, very special call. As you know, I don't do these webinars. I don't do these live presentations. I'm not a motivational speaker. It's not my business. I'm a businessman who's had dozens of companies around the world that have generated billions of dollars in sales. I've made that myself. I've helped other people, hundreds of people, become multimillionaires, and people that were just starting off. I remember the people that I met. One guy was a UPS truck driver. Another guy was flipping pizzas. Another woman was an immigrant to the United States, and she was a file clerk working at minimum wage. And all these people went on to become millionaires and multimillionaires and make just amazing amounts of money, virtually making all their dreams come true. So I'm going to be sharing with you some things that worked for me, that were taught to me, that I applied, that worked, that I then taught to some others, and they applied it and it worked. And if you apply it, you can really improve the quality of life and standard of living that you have. Again, I just want to welcome people from all over the world on this call. Make sure you have a pencil and paper, and you can take some notes down. You know, I remember back in 1979 when I was first learning this. I started learning this in the 70s. I'm actually very old, but I started learning this in the early 70s, when I was very young. And I was very arrogant and a hotshot young kid making huge amounts of money, hundreds of thousands of dollars a year back in the 70s, which was astronomical. It's well over $1 million a year today. And I was in my teens. I was doing it in direct mail. I had short form television commercials running. Some people familiar with the Ginsu knife ad and Armco cookware, some of the first commercials on TV where it said, call this 800 number and you could buy the product. And I was involved in that. And I was making this crazy amount of money in my teens because I had learned how to manifest or create what I wanted in life, and it was actually working. There was a fellow who was very successful, much more successful than myself and my friends, even though we were crazy, crazy successful by any stretch of the imagination and by anybody's metric. So I went to this seminar with this guy, and I was sitting there. And again, I'm in my teens, and the other people there are in their early 20s, and we're all making hundreds of thousands of dollars a year. This is back in 1979, so you could, in today's money, that's well over $1 million a year. So we thought we were pretty hot stuff. I mean, we had Porsches, we had Ferraris, we had Rolex watches, we had Brioni suits, we had, fancy jewelry and, rings and, jewelry. So we thought we were hot stuff. And we were a little cocky and arrogant. And this old guy walks in. So we were the young kids in our teens. Most of the people there were in their 20s. And this old guy walks in who's in his 60s. And it's like, what does this guy know? He's a dinosaur. He's old. What does he know? So he comes in and he just says this. He says, if you didn't make $10 million last year, sit down and shut up. You could have heard a pin drop in the room. He got the point across. We were making a couple $100,000 a year. Again, in today's money, that's over $1 million. We thought we were hot stuff, but we realized there was a lot that we needed to learn. There's a lot that we didn't know. And here was a guy that kind of knew that. And I would say this very humbly, if you haven't generated $10 billion in sales, then maybe you should pay attention. Perhaps you can learn something here and apply it. I've generated billions and billions of dollars in sales all around the world. Why should you listen to me? The first concept that I was taught is find someone that has what you want and has been where you are. And if they're willing to teach you, if you're willing to watch and observe them and follow a proven pattern for success, a proven cycle of action done by someone, and just duplicate it, success is duplicatable. What one person has done, you could do also. So if you haven't generated huge amounts of money, again, grab some paper, write some notes, pay attention, because maybe you can learn something. I'm going to share with you what was shared and taught to me and what I've taught to others. And it virtually is a success system that never fails. And W. Clement Stone said it that. He's the one who named it, the success system that never fails, along with Napoleon Hill, when they wrote the book Success Through a Positive Mental Attitude. And W. Clement Stone, who I knew here in Chicago up in Northbrook, he was the founder of Combined Insurance, billionaire, incredibly successful man, and really a positive speaker. Positive thinker, not a positive motivational speaker. He was a positive thinker, and he used the power of the mind and positivity to create the success that he wanted. So I'm going to share with you a couple things, apply them, and you will see some results in your life. Back in the 70s, the reason I was making hundreds of thousands of dollars is I was taught in the organization that I was a part of. It was a club. It was a secret society per se called the Brotherhood. It consisted of very successful people from very successful families. I happened to be inducted into it and brought into it because of some abilities that I had and some potential that I had. And I learned from people that were really outside of my general sphere of influence. My parents weren't wealthy. My relatives weren't wealthy. My friends weren't wealthy. My neighbors weren't wealthy. We were all average blue collar people that I grew up with. Nobody ever went to college. Nobody ever started a business. They were all union workers. And that's the world that I observed and saw. You got a union wage, you worked for 50 years, you retired, and then you got a pension. And that was life. And all of a sudden I was brought into this organization where everyone I met was a business owner, somebody who was independently wealthy. They had $100 million cash in the bank in stocks and bonds, paying them $10 million a year in interest and dividends. They didn't have to do anything. They woke up every month. They woke up every month with $1 million income that month without doing anything, just for waking up, just for breathing. So they knew something that I didn't know. I was taught a 40-point algorithm for success, or a 40-point algorithm for prosperity or abundance. You could call it a creation or manifesting algorithm, or a how to make money algorithm. When we use the word algorithm, it's thrown around a lot today, but nobody actually knows the definition. We actually learned the definition, and I want to read it to you because I printed it up. It says, this is the definition of algorithm. An algorithm is a step-by-step set of well-defined instructions designed to achieve a specific outcome. And in this case, making money or achieving your goals or achieving your dreams. It takes you through a sequence of logical steps in a specific order that produces a guaranteed result, which in this case, the success algorithm produces the guaranteed result of making more money or manifesting or creating or attaining your goals, dreams, and desires. That algorithm was the step-by-step set of well-defined instructions. That's the algorithm. And there are 40 points of that algorithm, and each of the points have some subpoints, but it's a step-by-step procedure. And it works 100% of the time. The geniuses at MIT that were part of the Brotherhood and some of the other mathematical institutions around the world, they put it into a mathematical equation. And here's the definition of an equation. An equation is a mathematical statement that shows that two expressions are equal. So if you do this on one side of the equation, the other one, which is money or success or attaining what you want, they're equal. If one expression is success defined by a specific number, in this particular case, 10,000, and the other expression shows what actions equal specific numbers, and when added together equals success. So the equation is real simple. You take the algorithm and put it into the sequence, and each of the steps has a numerical value. So if you do the steps, you can give yourself a numerical value, and when it equals a certain number, it equals success. It actually starts at 6,000 and maxes it out to 10,000. This is what I was taught. If you apply that, it is the success system that cannot fail, that has never failed, that works 100% of the time, because it's mathematics. The whole universe is mathematics. And I describe it in the book. If you have not read the book, Your Wish is Your Command, this is the new book. It's on Amazon. Some of you have listened to the original audio recording of this book, Your Wish is Your Command. And if you have not, you should. It's the seminar that I did in the Alps almost 20 years ago, actually over 20 years ago now, where people paid crazy money for 2 days. And I gave a lecture on the system that was taught to me. That's available to listen to. Just recently, in the last few months, I put that in book form. I cleaned it up. I added a lot. I put in information that answered all the questions that people had over the couple decades that the audios were out. And then I also read the book in the studio, which was really crazy because when I was reading the book, I kept adding more commentary. And I give you on the audio version, when I read the book, I add an extra chapter, which is the whole 40-point algorithm. So if you have not read this book, I highly suggest you do. Even if you listen to the audios, Your Wish is Your Command, from the original seminar, I do suggest and recommend that you do read the book. At least consider that. But let me give you the summary of the 40-point algorithm and a summary of the book, Your Wish is Your Command, because there are 4 basic points. And if you focus on these, things will change and improve in your life for the better. The first reason that people succeed and the first reason they don't succeed is, do they follow or not follow the manifesting formula? There is a general, we'll call it a basic outline, a basic formula for manifesting your goals, dreams, and desires, or attaining your goals, or getting what you want in life, or making more money. There is a formula. And the formula are these steps. Number 1, the first question is, what in your life are you fed up with that you will not tolerate anymore? What is it that you will not tolerate or put up with anymore? What is it in your life that makes you angry that you absolutely 100% must eliminate and change? What is it? Most people don't know what that pain point is. You have to have a pain point. If you're looking at your credit card bills and they're maxed out, does that frustrate you enough that will actually motivate you to action? What is the pain point? What is it that you will not tolerate anymore? You will never read this in any success book by any success guru because they don't know. Winners love to win, but they hate losing more. Think about that. What is it that you can't stand? You see, there's pain on this side and there's pleasure on this side. We are motivated more to avoid pain. We're motivated more to do that than we are to gain pleasure. So both are part of the manifesting equation or formula, which I'll explain. But the first one is critical. And if you don't have it, nothing's going to occur. People that are successful get pissed off. They get fed up. They feel like they're in a competition and they have to win, and they hate losing. The thought of losing is abhorrent to them. It disgusts them. They will not lose. And if they get knocked down, if they do feel like there's a loss or a setback, they get even more fired up because they're determined to win because they hate losing so much. It was a great statement by Vince Lombardi, the great coach of the Green Bay Packers back in the 60s when they won all the championships. And he said, "Show me a good loser, and I'll show you a loser." And he said, winners are not good losers. They hate losing. That's the difference between a winner and a loser. Winners hate losing. So what is it in your life that you will not tolerate, that you will not take anymore, that you must change? And when it comes to money, for example, do you look at your bank account and go, "Oh, I'm so thankful and grateful and appreciative. I'm supposed to be thankful and grateful." Okay, that's great. Then that's never going to change. Do you look at it and going, "This disgusts me. I am fed up with this. My credit card bills are maxed out and I'm fed up. I'm sick and tired of this and I'm not going to take it anymore. I'm mad as hell and I'm not going to take it anymore." What are you going to get motivated? Now, you don't live there. So everybody's freaking out already. Calm down, pay attention. We're going slow. You don't live in that pain or disgust or irritation. You visit that and you use that to contract energy. And from that point, when you know exactly what you don't want, when you know exactly what you don't want, when you're at that point and you are sick of it, and you will not take it anymore, when you're mad as hell and you're not going to take it anymore, when you're at that point, that's when you do step 2. That's when you clearly define what you do want. If you're sick and tired of your credit card statements being maxed out, you want them to be at 0. Clearly define what you do want. If you're sick and tired of that car, What do you want? That new Mercedes or BMW? What is it do you want? Are you sick and tired of waiting in line to go onto a plane and coach? What do you want? You want to be first class? What do you want? You look at your body in the mirror. Are you sick and tired of that? What do you want? You want a trim, healthy, vigorous, vibrant body that's full of life and healthy? What do you want? Are you sick and tired of not having a relationship that gives you great sex and great passion and fun and laughter and joy and safety and security and a feeling of great stability and connection? If you don't have that, is that what you do want? Are you fed up with not having that? So after you know what you don't want, then clearly define what you do want. Most people don't even know what they want. I do one-on-ones. I charge $5,000 an hour. And if I book 10, 20, 30 one-on-ones over the next month or two, within virtually 3 or 4 days, they're all sold out. And people keep coming back because it's a life-changing experience when I get a chance to have a one-on-one with me via Zoom for an hour. One of the questions that I always ask people right at the beginning is, what would you like to talk about? And people sometimes say, well, I want to talk about money because I'm frustrated. I'm not making the money I want. I want to make more money. Great. And then I'll ask some crazy, silly question like, exactly how much money you want to make? Well, I haven't really thought about it much. You don't know what you want. You can't define for me clearly what you want. If you don't have a target, how do you know if you even hit it? You have to have a target. Okay, we're going to go target shooting and take your bow and arrow, take your gun and hit the target. They go, what target? I don't even see a target down there. Oh, we don't put up targets. You just shoot. How stupid would that be? You have to have a target and you have to know where the bullseye is. That's called specificity. You have to clearly define your dream. You have to know with specifics and specificity exactly what you want. You have to know where the target is. You have to know what you desire. That's step two. Clearly define it. Now, step three, see yourself in your mind's eye, create a mental moving picture, a mental scene, a mental movie, a mental video of you in attainment of and in possession of that which you desire. Whatever your goal is, see yourself in possession of it. If it's you want a certain amount of money, if you want all your credit card balances to be at zero, picture going on the phone and looking at the credit card balances, see them all zero. See yourself in possession. If it's a car, see yourself driving the car. See yourself looking at that car in your driveway or in your garage. See yourself in possession of what you desire. It's a mental picture. This is critical. And then, most importantly, feel right now as if you would feel if it was true. So if you want a car, see yourself in possession of that car and feel right now. Imagine how you would feel and try to feel. Use your creativity and imagination and feel right now how you think you would feel if you actually had that car. And your state will change, your emotional state, your feelings will change, your vibration will change, your frequency that you're broadcasting out of your brain will change, and the brain will start moving from beta right in between theta and alpha, which is the wealth wave, where you broadcast what you want on the wealth wave because of that good feeling, because you feel good. The feeling should be very pleasant. You should feel great because you're imagining, you're using your creativity. The body does not know the difference between reality and imagination. I do this example where we have people imagine a lemon and imagine holding a lemon. So right now, imagine holding a lemon, a lemon. Look at the lemon, see the lemon. What color is it? How does it feel in your hand? Now put it down on the table in front of you and take a knife and cut it in half. And as you do, maybe you see some of the juice squirt off a little bit and you can kind of feel it cut in half. Now pick up half of that lemon and squeeze it just a little bit and feel some of the juice come out maybe into your hand. Then bring it up and smell it. Smell that lemon and imagine how lemony it smells. Now take it, look at it, bring it in your mouth and bite down on it real hard. Most of you, if not every single one of you, are salivating right now because your body doesn't know the difference between reality and imagination. This is the most powerful concept in the world, and it was really emphasized by somebody you wouldn't imagine, Albert Einstein, a mathematician. not a mystic, a mathematician. And he said, imagination is the most powerful substance in the universe. It controls the universe. So you picture in your mind what you want, feel right now as if you would feel if you were actually in possession of it. And then you do the next step. You release attachment to the outcome. You say, and if I never get it, it's perfectly okay. You release attachment to the outcome. This is a critical part of that formula. So those are the 4 steps. Now, in Your Wish is Your Command, I go into it in depth in the Global Information Network, in the Success Mastery course and the Science of Personal Mastery course. We go into it in great detail and depth and really drill you and train you on it. But that's the basic formula. So if you want to manifest something, if you want more money, if you want to attain your goals, you have to apply that correctly and consistently. And most people don't, quite frankly. The second reason why people succeed or fail is because of counter intentions. What counter intentions do they have subconsciously, either in their DNA or in their memories or in their mind, that is stopping them from manifesting their goals, dreams, and desires? Let me tell you what a counter intention is. And you're not going to find this concept, truth, in any book on manifesting or how to create anything. It's not there anywhere. In your DNA, you have everything from your parents and also all your ancestors on your mother's side and father's side. Science now has proven that if there was any trauma, or if someone in your ancestors had a strong belief, it's in your DNA. Think about that. If you had a trauma, if somebody in your family almost drowned, the fear of drowning is in your DNA. My mother was petrified of water. From the moment she was born, she couldn't even take a bath. From the moment she was born, when my grandmother tried to give her a bath, she screamed and hollered and yelled. From the moment she was born. Now, there was never any trauma about water in my mother's life. Never had any issue with water, but her whole life, she was petrified. She had a phobia of water. When we looked into her field and we looked into her ancestry, we found out that her grandmother on her father's side almost drowned, fell off a boat in Italy and almost drowned. They found the records. That's where the trauma came from. And when we found that trauma and blew that trauma out, all of a sudden my mother no longer had a fear or phobia of water. It was actually in her DNA. If you want more money, you probably have counter intentions on money. If you want a better relationship, you probably have counter intentions on a relationship. Think about it. Maybe somebody in your ancestors was very religious, maybe following the Christian tradition, and they're reading the Bible and it says, money is the root of all evil. And then another one says it's easier for a camel to walk through the eye of a needle than for a rich man to enter the kingdom of God and go to heaven. We don't want money because then we'll never go to heaven. Rich people don't go to heaven, they go to hell. And money's the root of all evil. We don't want money. It's good to be poor. It says here, blessed are the poor. Blessed are the poor. We're blessed because we're poor. And you have that counter intention in your field. So you're out there trying to make money and you have this vibration, this frequency that's subconscious. You're not even aware of it, working against you, preventing you from making money. There's a whole host of things that happen. One area of counter intention, which is massive, is your ability to dream big. The difference between you and I at the end of the day is the size of our dream and time. Everything starts with a dream. This Zoom, this computer you're watching or phone, that was somebody's dream. It was in their imagination. And all of those people were laughed at. Everything that we use today, people years ago laughed at the dreamer. You get a bottle of water. We do it every day. It's completely normal. Do you know when bottled water first came out, everyone laughed at the concept of selling water in a bottle? They said, why would people pay for something they can get for free? They just turn on the tap. Water is free. Why would anybody pay for water in a bottle? That's insane. But somebody had a dream. Somebody saw the potential. Walt Disney was flat broke in California, and he was making plans to build a city with his name on it, Disney World. Actually, Disneyland was the first one in California. And everybody laughed at him. You have no money. Nobody knows who you are. You don't even have a cartoon character. He was working on Disneyland before he came out with Mickey Mouse. He had a big dream. Elon Musk had a big dream. Stephen Jobs had a big dream. Conrad Hilton with the Hilton Hotel chain had a big dream. People have dreams. Dreams expand your mind and therefore expand what is potentially capable for you to achieve. If you can't dream bigger than you are right now, it's going to be a major disadvantage to you and a struggle. You have to dream big. There's a book called The Magic of Thinking Big. Dreaming big is critical, and most people have counter intentions on that. There are actually a whole bunch of bands of where counter intentions are: money, relationships, dreams, leadership, communication, health, spiritual awakening, focus, concentration. These are the key areas that people have counter intention in. And unless you clear those out, life is going to be a struggle. Example: let's say that you're walking up a mountain, and at the top of the mountain is treasure, millions and millions of dollars, and that's what you're shooting for. And as you're walking up that mountain, it's not very steep, but for some reason, you are struggling. It's hard. You're going slow. And every time you stop, you kind of slide back a little bit. You're like, what is going on? The treasure's right there. I know the path I'm following and I'm trying to do it, but this is so hard. I don't understand what the problem is. What you don't know is you have strapped to your back 1,000 pounds of rocks. That's counter intention. If I got rid of the counter intention, got rid of the 1,000 pounds of rocks, it'd be easier walking up that hill to the millions that you seek. If you're walking straight ahead to the millions that you seek, and there's 100-mile-an-hour hurricane wind pushing against you, you're not going to be able to go forward. You can see the treasure. You know the path. It's walk here. You know exactly what to do. Move your feet. But for some reason, there's something invisible pushing against you. That's a counter intention. And unless you get rid of the counter intentions, it's always going to be a struggle. Next, habits. In our brain, scientists now have proven what we've been saying for decades, actually hundreds, thousands of years. We live by habits. And when you start doing something repetitively, a neural pathway is actually developed in your brain, and it releases endorphins and other feel-good chemicals. So if you do that thing, which you've done habitually, if you follow it and you activate that neural pathway, you feel better. Most of you, however, have failure habits. Winners live by success habits. Losers live by failure habits. You have to change those habits, and you have to become aware of those habits. And most people aren't aware of their failure habits. I know somebody that I've known for a long time. And I said, do you want to become successful? Yes, I want to become successful. Tell me what I need to do. I said, you need to listen more and talk less. You talk too much. You don't listen. You don't ask questions. You interrupt people and you talk too much. No, I don't, he said. I said, you have no awareness. What do you mean? No, I'm just telling you. And now you're debating with me. You talk too much. Okay, look, if you start talking, I said, and I put on the stopwatch and it's 15 minutes later and you're still talking, you talk too much and you haven't asked me a single question. I can't get a word in edgewise. And even if I start to add something, you cut me off and continue talking. That's a failure habit. But he has no awareness of that. None. No awareness. So you have to become aware, conscious of your failure habits, and then use the magic words cancel, cancel, and replace it with the alternative success habit. That's how you win. We live our life by habit. So unless you get rid of the bad habits, the failure habits, and replace them with success habits, you're also going to be struggling. And lastly, there is power within you. We'll call it positive energies that successful people have that are active. And unsuccessful people, those energies are dormant. They're asleep. Energies like enthusiasm, Are you generally an enthusiastic person? Confidence. Are you generally confident or do you doubt yourself? Do you have fear? Are you shy or are you confident? Successful people have an energy that's active of confidence, and unsuccessful people, that energy is dormant. How about motivation, inspiration, drive, initiative, optimism, a feeling of control and power, creativity, inquisitiveness, curiosity? These are the energies and frequencies that successful people have active, and unsuccessful people don't have active. I'm with a fellow, we walk into someplace, we're looking around, and I'm thinking of a million questions. I am so curious. How does that work? What does that do? Why is that there? I'm curious. I don't have a need to know, but I have this incredible childlike curiosity. And I'm with my buddy who's worth about $300 million, and we were at the World War II Museum in London. We wanted to check it out, so we went there, and he had some connections, so we got a private tour. And the two of us are there. This guy's worth about 300 million. This is 15 or 20 years ago. He's a billionaire now. I talk to him regularly. And we were in there and we were both asking a zillion questions. How did they make this? Where did they make that? How many did they make? What was wrong with it? Why was it better than this? We were so inquisitive and curious. We happened to bring along a couple of our colleagues, people that worked for us, with us, but they were at a different net worth level. And you could see the difference like night and day. Number one, me and my buddy had tons of energy. We were walking around the whole thing. They were getting tired. They weren't curious. They didn't have enthusiasm. They didn't have a sense of wonder. You can just see it. Their energies were dormant, not active. So if you want to become successful, you have to do things that will stimulate and bring to surface and activate those positive energies: enthusiasm, initiative, curiosity, motivation, inspiration, drive. These are the type of things that will help you manifest your goals, dreams, and desires. And lastly, there is what, without question, is the greatest kept money making secret of all time. And it's really probably not even a secret, because when you talk to, and I have, all of these money making success gurus that are on YouTube, or they have podcasts, or they write books. First off, interestingly enough, almost none of them have ever made any money. The only money they've ever made in their life was selling books or seminars on how to become successful. Well, if the stuff they taught actually worked, they would have done like I did, generate real companies around the world, whether it was TV networks in Europe or mining operations in Australia or manufacturing, and generate billions of dollars in business and profits. Then teach people, hey, I applied this in real business. This is how it works. Now I'm coming from a place of knowing, not just knowing about or theory. But all these guys don't even know about this powerful, required ingredient to help a person achieve success. And that is this. If you take the Forbes 400 list, which lists not they say the 400 richest people in the world. No, 400 rich people. I know a lot of people that are bigger than those people on the Forbes 400 list, but their assets are private and they're in cryptocurrencies, which are not known in public. But let's just say those Forbes 400, they are very wealthy people, are clearly. And if you go through that list of all those people on the Forbes 400, every single one of them is in a private club, some type of society or association or fraternal organization or a secret society. They're a member of Skull and Bones. They're a member of Bohemian Grove. They're a member of the Yale University or Harvard University Alumni Club. They're a member of a private association, a private club. They're a member of a country club where it costs $1 million a year to join, and $200,000 or $300,000 a year annual dues just to be a member. And then if you go there and have a drink, you have to pay for it. And if you want to golf, you have to pay for it. If you want to use one of the meeting rooms, you have to pay for it. Just to be a member, it costs that. Why do all these people, every one of them throughout history, before they became wealthy, before, while they were on the road, they were a member of a private club, a private association, or fraternal organization, or some type of group? Why? Why was that the case? The reason is when you're part of a club, the big number one advantage is the friendships, associations, and relationships you start developing. Having a connection with a like-minded person who will pull for you, who supports you, who is with you, sometimes by oath, is critical to success. Why? Science now has proven what we've been saying for hundreds and thousands of years, hundreds of years and thousands of years, and that is when someone who has some of your DNA is angry, it actually affects your DNA. Now, half of your DNA is your mother's, half is your father's. If your father is all pissed off and angry today, that's having a major effect on you. If your mother is sad, that's having a major effect. If your father just hit the lottery or succeeded in a big business deal and is super happy and motivated and inspired, that positively affects you. If your mother is winning and she's so happy about the family and she's a partner with your dad, or she has her own business and she's succeeding and had a big win and brought her company public and made a lot of money, that is positively affecting your DNA. But we don't come from wealthy families. Most of you watching right now come from families that don't have a lot of money. There's a lot of trauma in there. And it's similar to a counterintention, but it happens in real time. So every single relative you have has some of your DNA. And when these relatives say to you, when you start talking about your dreams, they start saying things like, what makes you think you can do that? You know, you've always been stupid. You're so naive. That crap never works. Don't waste your time and money. You'd be a fool to get in that deal. And that person has your DNA. Not only are they telling you that, and it's putting rats in your head, but they're affecting your DNA. This happens with all of our relatives. They're dream stealers, but they're adversely affecting us. That doesn't happen in wealthy families. Wealthy families back up and support all the people in their family. There's a huge distinction. So how do you counteract that? When you're part of a club or an association, specifically one that has maybe an oath or some type of fraternal nature to it, you're bound to these people energetically. It's similar to a DNA bind. So if you're a member of YPO, Young Presidents Organization, or WPO, World Presidents Organization, and you're around all these other people, they're supporting you, they're helping you, they're with you. When you tell them you have a challenge in your business, they're supporting you, telling you you can overcome this, you can do it, you're a winner. Not only are they saying that to you, but they're energetically supporting you, and that affects your DNA. So when you join a private club, there's this esoteric nature that goes beyond just the relationship and the friendship, but it's that connection that affects your DNA. This is why the statement is absolutely true. Your income is always the average of your 5 best friends. People who are successful associate with winners. Aristotle Onassis said, and Aristotle Onassis was one of the richest men in the world, and he started from losing it all. During World War I, when they came into Greece, the Turks came in, they wiped him out. He was absolutely penniless. He had one suit that he was wearing and nothing else when he went to Argentina. He started off all over again from zero, washing dishes. Here was a guy who was a millionaire, and now he was penniless washing dishes, but he said, I can do it all over again faster because now I know how to do it. And he said the number one thing that he did was he went where wealthy people hung out because he wanted to be in the same room with them so he could pick up their energy. And he wanted to associate with and maybe meet somebody, connect with them, become an apprentice, learn from them, watch, and develop friendships and relationships with positive, motivated, and inspired people, which are different than losers. Winners are different than losers in the way they think and the way they treat each other. Think about that. So the first thing is the friendships and relationships. You need people to pull for you. Then the reason you join these clubs is there's an aspect of this club, which nobody talks about in any book on success, which is critical, and that is recognition. When you join a club, you get the ability to be recognized for your accomplishments. That means put on stage, given a plaque, given an award, given a medal, and applauded and cheered by your colleagues and compatriots, by your contemporaries. They throw love and positivity toward you. This affects you in this huge, amazing way. Getting recognized is powerful and needed if you want to succeed. When was the last time you were recognized on stage, even in front of 5 people, where they applauded you and then shook your hands after and said, congratulations, patted you on the back? It is magical. It changes you on the inside. And in these organizations, you have the ability to get recognized. And secondly, you also have the ability to give recognition, which is even more powerful. It's more blessed to give than to receive. When you give recognition, when you throw love and appreciation and gratitude, and you throw support and happiness and joy, and you feel good for that person's success, and you throw and say, I'm happy for your success. I feel good about your success. I applaud your success. I congratulate you for your success. When you throw that energy out, the universe has to give you situations, events, circumstances, and conditions, and people that will give you 1,000 times more of that energy. Giving recognition is planting seeds in the universe that are going to come back and pay huge dividends for you in the future in terms of huge amounts of money. Next, when you join these clubs, you get to hear and see other people's success. You hear their success story and you see them succeed. You see them overcome obstacles and succeed. You see them win. You watch them win. You observe them win. You hear them talk about their wins. When you hear success stories, something magical happens on the inside, and there's nothing you can do about it. Resistance is futile. You are changed permanently. 2 things occur. Number 1, you get pissed off. Why them and not me? Which is exactly what you need to do. You need to have that contracted energy that will basically, like a loaded spring, boom, throw you into success. You have to have that. So when you hear these success stories, that may happen. But the second thing always happens, and that is you say, if they can do it, I can do it too. When you see other people's success in real life, an element of reality, not mystical, not theoretical, the element of reality now is right in front of you. Reality of success is right there. And that element changes everything. It now it transfers the energy that you may have of, oh, I believe I can do it, to I know it can be done. It's not, I believe it can be done. I think it can be done. I have faith that it can be done. When you have reality by actually seeing others succeed, all of a sudden now you know it can be done. And that breaks all the barriers. It is one thing, the one thing that'll break all the barriers. And unless you're part of a group or association or private club, you're not going to have that option. Next is when you join these clubs, the connections you make. Remember, it's not what you know, it's who you know. So when you join a private club, you meet people, you meet wealthy people, you meet people that want to become wealthy, you meet motivated, inspired people, people that are hungry, you people that have succeeded. You make amazing connections. So I'm looking to buy a $20 million plane, Challenger 300. And I'm thinking, oh, wait a minute, I know a guy. So I sent him a text. Very, very wealthy guy, super wealthy guy, because he's had like 50 planes in the last 40 years. The guy has planes all the time, and I think he's got 3 private planes now. He knows everything about planes. So I sent him a text. He instantly calls me because we have a connection and a friendship. And he says, what can I do for you? I says, well, can you educate me a little bit about this? I'm looking for a Challenger 300. Can't go wrong with a Challenger 300. What is your mission? And he starts asking me all these questions. And he's on the phone with me for an hour, helping me, guiding me, coaching me, mentoring me on this. And I said, who do you know? And he says, call this guy, call that guy, tell him you're a friend of mine. They'll give you the best deal. This guy will find the plane. This guy will manage it, blah, blah. And I get all of this now insider information because I happen to be part of a club where I know this guy. That's where I met him. We're friends. And it's an amazing connection. Connections are critical. That's a very important reason why successful people join these private organizations. I get a phone call when I was part of these groups years ago. I remember like it was yesterday. The Greek guy, the skinny Greek guy calls me. He's like, I got to see you. What? I met him in a private club. And he sat down and he had this looked like a mini satellite dish. And he says, Kevin, there's a new company starting. This dish is going to be on roofs all across America and maybe the world. See, they're going to put satellites up in the sky and people are going to buy this dish, put the wires all throughout their house. And then they're going to have 100 or 200 or 300 channels they can watch, maybe 500 channels. I go, who the hell was going to watch 500 TV channels? Because we get 3 TV channels now. 500 is too many. And why would people pay for television when it's free? You just put an antenna up on your roof and you can watch TV for free. Who would pay for all this? No, this is going to be huge. But I knew this guy and he was a winner and he always won. And he had a bigger dream than me. He saw the potential bigger than I did, but I trusted him. And I said, what do you think I should do? He said, well, I'm telling you this so you can get in. Okay. So I got in this little company called DirecTV before it even launched. That's a big win. That comes from knowing the right people. Think about that. I remember when I got the phone call, Kevin, here's a white paper on this thing called cryptocurrency and blockchain. Well, this is a little above my pay grade. Well, there's something called Bitcoin coming out. Well, this is, again, a little above my pay grade. It's 50 cents. You should buy it. Seems like it's air to me. 6 months later or a year later, whenever it was at $1. It had doubled. And I'm thinking, I blew it. Man, it's double. I could have doubled my money. I blew it. He goes, you didn't blow it. If you buy this, do not touch it until 2030. Otherwise, don't buy it because it's going to go up and down like a roller coaster. Okay, where is it at now? It's at $1. Okay, maybe I should put 100,000 in. Okay. Being at the right place at the right time and knowing the right people, connections. Think about that. Just recently, because of our club that we're a part of, I meet a guy and he says, hey, there's this crypto. It's at 30 cents. I think you should buy it. Don't put a lot in because it's very volatile and you could lose it all. Okay, so if I put in, 30, 40, 50,000, if I lose it, I'm not going to lose sleep over it. A matter of fact, I'll just mentally think that I lost it. All of a sudden, he goes, don't look at it. It's going to be crazy. All of a sudden, I get a text message. Sell it. It's at 550. That's because of the connection you make. So being part of a private club gives you that critical advantage. It's really an unfair advantage. And if you're not part of a private organization, a club, you're really missing out. Now, in our club that we have, the Global Information Network, the one that I started, we have members in 150 countries around the world. We also provide training because people around the world don't know exactly how to apply the 40 points of the success algorithm. And most people don't even know it. So when people join our club, the Global Information Network, you get level 1 and you could purchase level 2 and you can purchase level 3 and you can purchase at your option level 4 all the way up to level 12 of the Success Mastery course, which teaches you the 40 points of the algorithm in complete depth and drills you on it and teaches you the success system that never fails, as well as the secondary course, the Science of Personal Mastery, which teaches you how to control the mind. And this is the exact training I got in the secret society called the Brotherhood on how to use your mind and control your mind so you can see into various dimensions and do all types of mystical, magical things. But that's available for our members as well. The training is critical. And the other thing you get when you join a private club is the access to real live meetings. Now, in today's world, meetings are not just live and in person. That's ideal. But also meetings are virtual. When you go to a virtual meeting, you get a chance to, again, develop friendships and relationships with people all over the world. If you go to a live meeting, like in our case, in our club, we have local chapter meetings all over the world. We have 4 seminars virtually each year, as well as rallies where you hear the success stories of members which is incredibly powerful. And then 4 times a year, we have major weekend events, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, where you hear various speakers. They're networking opportunities. They're the most professionally put on, organized, structured, exciting, inspirational, and motivational events you will ever go to. The reason these events are so critical, which remember when I told you you have dormant energy that needs to be awakened? When you go to a major weekend event with us, we do things energetically. And because all the people in the room are the most motivated, inspired, happy, enthusiastic, positive people you could imagine, the energy in the room is just electric. And when you go into that room, and if you just sit there and you leave on Sunday, you're a different person. You've been transformed because the energy that's in the room is what turns on the dormant energy within you. And yes, the speakers, you'll learn some things. But when you ask people, what did you like best about the event? The number one thing is always the people I met. They're the most friendly, outgoing people I've ever met. People walk up to me and said, "You're new. Let me introduce myself. Let me introduce you to some of our members, our high-level members. Why don't you have lunch with us? Let me show you around." They're the most accommodating, open, welcoming people I've ever been. Instant friendships, instant relationships, instant connections, incredibly powerful. So that's the real major reason you want to engage in a private club. The best one out there, and I mentioned that there's a lot of clubs you could join. You could join a country club, or you could be a member of Yale or Harvard's alumni club, but you have to have gone there first. Skull and Bones, you're not going to qualify for that because you had to go to Yale and get tapped on the shoulder. But our club, the Global Information Network, is really the place for you if you truly want to achieve great success in your life and develop friendships and relationships and connections with just amazing, successful, positive, motivated people from all over the world. Our club is special and unique. And when a person joins our club right now is offering membership for $1,500 one-time initiation fee and monthly dues of $150 a month. That is cancelable at any time. But what you get initially is 2 things. Number one, you instantly get a ticket to our next major weekend event, a 4-day event with a $5,000 value. The events are powerful and magical. When you go to the event, the first thing is there is a new member welcome reception. You go there, our top level members are there to greet you, introduce themselves, and introduce you to other members and make you feel welcome, invite you to a meal, get to know you. So that way you automatically have friends and people that you can meet and associate with right away. It's a Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. There'll be various speakers involved, networking opportunities, a beautiful formal banquet on Saturday night, entertainment sometimes at some of these events. They're absolutely powerful. And it's a $5,000 value. And when you join, you get a ticket to that absolutely free. And if you can't go live, you can attend virtually because we do broadcast it virtually to members as well. And that's free when you become a member, a brand new member. Our next weekend event is coming up in Montreal. It's April 24th, 25th, and 26th in Montreal, Canada. So if you sign up in the club, you get a free live ticket there or a virtual ticket. But there's one thing that's special about this event, whether you attend it live or virtually. I mentioned counter intentions. And I had mentioned you have to get rid of these counter intentions in order to succeed. And one of the biggest counter intentions you want to get rid of is dream counter intention. How big can you dream? Most people can't dream very big. Once they start dreaming big, they start having massive doubt. Oh, that'll never happen. That'll never happen. So your ability to dream big is limited. When your ability to dream big is limited, your ability to manifest even small things is much, much, much harder. So I want you to imagine a rubber band. If you stretch it and hold it there for a little bit and then let it go, it never goes back to its original size because you stretched it. Your mind is the same. So if I can stretch your dream for saying, I can make $1 million a year. And then I say, okay, what's your next goal? Well, I want to make 20,000 a month. Now that becomes very easy because you actually believe and have faith that you could make $1 million a year because your ability to dream big went up. Now the ability to manifest $200,000 or $300,000 or $400,000 a year becomes super easy. But imagine if I can get you to dream to 5 million a year. Yeah, my dream is 5 million a year. My dream is $1 million a month. Now, what's our next logical step based on your income? Well, I want to get to 200,000 a year. All of a sudden, it's just like, that's like so easy. Your ability to dream changes everything when it comes to making more money or manifesting anything. But you have counter intentions. I deliver 30 dream processes. These processes go into 30 dimensions or 30 frequency bands where there are counter intentions or pushback or stops on your ability to dream. We charge $3,000 per process. In Montreal, I'm giving them to all the attendees, anyone who's there live or anyone who's there virtual, absolutely free. That's $90,000 worth of dream releasing processes, dream releasing counter intention processes for free. So if you join our club, you get a free ticket. You can either go live and get them delivered there live, or you can watch virtually on the computer and get them delivered. In addition to all the other amazing things that are going to be going on at Dream Weekend, and we actually call this Dream Weekend, you get that for free. And here's what else you get for free. We have a leadership cruise where we deliver leadership processes. Those leadership processes are $3,000 each. That's what we charge. On our leadership cruise, everyone who's on our leadership cruise, we give the people that are on the leadership cruise the 30 leadership processes, which get rid of all the counter intentions on leadership. That's $90,000 worth of processes for free. It's for our members. And if you're not a member, people buy that. People spend that much money on our different processes, whether it's a money or relationship or leadership or dream or some of the others. That's what people all around the world buy, the hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds. That's what they pay. But as a member, you'll get leadership processes on our cruise for free. We have a 6-day cruise. We just finished one. Our next one is in January of 2028. It's 80% sold out. If you join our club, you get a ticket on that cruise absolutely free. All expense paid, absolutely free. Now, it goes out of Miami, so your transportation to Miami, you're on your own. And if you come in the night before, your hotel is on your own. But once you get on the ship, you don't have to spend any money. Everything is free on the ship. Everything is free. The only money you would spend if you want to drink some alcohol or gamble in the casino or go get a haircut or do some of the other stuff. But you don't have to spend any money. It's all expense paid. All the events, all the seminars, all the workshops, all the fun is free. This cruise, if some of the other success gurus put them on, I know what they charge. They charge $30,000 for the week, and you get it for free. But we have $90,000 worth of leadership processes for free. This is going to get rid of all of the stops you have around leadership. And one of those is confidence. If you have any fear, any doubt in your mind, if you procrastinate, these will eliminate procrastination. You will no longer have that counter intention that makes you procrastinate and put things off. You'll have a do it now attitude. It'll be completely different. I want to show you a short little couple-minute video of this cruise. So take a look at this. It's really the happiest cruise in the world. We have a system that is absolutely the most codified and systematic and structured path that will get you to where you want to go faster and easier than anything else. You are at the right place at the right time. The path that we have in the Global Information Network is a complete, workable, system that can help you get to where you want to go in life. And the main thing when we have these events, so many things happen to you when you go through the events. You get inspired, you get motivated, you make a decision. Major events are where decisions are made. And success is a decision away. It's when you say, that's it, I'm gonna do it, that's it, period. It's when you get to the point where you are sick and tired of being sick and tired. When you realize that you do have what it takes. You have greatness within you. You have potential that hasn't been tapped and you haven't turned it on. That you're sitting in the car wondering how come you're not going forward. You got the key in your hand. Just put the key in, turn it, start the car, push the accelerator, and go. You've got what it takes. And that's what happens at major events. You make those decisions. And that's when the whole universe wakes up and says, you're serious. And they go working for you to help manifest your goals, dreams, and desires. Think about your legacy. Think about the fact you have choices every single day to sit or get up and dance. I'm going to say this. Damn it, get up and dance.
Your singular mission target. You may find it through Jen. These people are getting their mission, their target, their focus.
None of you, not one person on this ship is here by accident.
Tonight, think about placing an order with the universe. And whatever order you place, the answer will be, your wish has been granted. So place your order wisely. What do you want? Not what do you think you can get or think you can achieve. What do you desire? What's in your heart? What's your dream? God would never give you a dream you couldn't have. Or if you don't attain it, it's the road that you should be on. And as you go through the Success Mastery course, as you go through the Science of Personal Mastery course, all the pieces of the puzzle are there. They're laid out in a sequence, one step after the other, reviewing what you went before. It's like learning mathematics. The Success Mastery course, the Science of Personal Mastery course, the whole gym system, as you go through it, everyone starts exactly at the same spot. And you go through it exactly in the same order. It's like you start in grade 1 and you learn the numbers 1 through 9 and 0. Then when you master that, they teach you addition. And then when you master that, they teach you subtraction. And then when you got that, you're like, okay, I understand it. That's when, and only then, can they teach you multiplication. And only after you learn that can you learn division. And then you start learning fractions and decimals. And you start going. You don't start at calculus or trigonometry. You can't start there. You have to have a foundation. And the gym system, the Success Mastery course, levels 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, all the way up, is that perfect sequential system. It's the same system that was taught to me. I didn't invent it. I didn't make it up. All I'm doing is giving it to you in the same way that it was given to me. And the Science of Personal Mastery course is the, we'll call it esoteric training, or the advanced mind training, how to control the mind, which makes the Success Mastery course work even better. Everything is there. All the pieces of the puzzle are there. The secret is this. Well, I hope that inspired and motivated you. And by the way, when this video ends in just a few minutes, there's about 15 or 20 minutes of video with music at the end. I would hang around and watch that, because everything you're going to be watching, almost everything, are actual club members and filmed at club events, or are the places where we've had meetings, like the $35 million mansion in Beverly Hills, where we had people over. Uh, it's amazing. So check that out. If you're on this call, stay around for another 15 minutes. There's some cool music, but also watch the videos that are coming up, because you also hear some testimonials from other members as well. If you are serious about improving the quality of your life and your standard of living, and that really comes down to making more money, getting more material things, being debt free, being financially free, improving your financial status, maybe your health, maybe improving your relationships, maybe you desire a better relationship or a relationship. Maybe you desire better status. Maybe you desire more friends and more social connections. Maybe you're just missing something and you just wish you were happier and felt more at peace. And maybe you're anxious and stressed out all the time and fearful and doubtful and have a low self-esteem and just don't. Maybe you're shy and you wish you would be happier and more confident. No matter what aspect of your life, joining our club can help you get there. We have members in over 150 countries around the world. New members are joining every day. We get thousands and thousands of letters and emails and correspondence from members all around the world sharing their wins and their success stories about how their life is improving dramatically because they're applying the training that they get in the Success Mastery course, the Science of Personal Mastery course, and because of the relationships and friendships they've developed by being a member. So I would really encourage you to join. Because if you don't join this club, if you don't engage in a system that is proven to produce results, what else are you going to do? Now, the club is $1,500 initiation fee and $150 a month dues. I'm going to be hard on you, because if you can't afford that, quite frankly, we do not want you in our club, because we don't want losers in our club. We don't want people who are struggling. We don't want people who are broken and need fixing. We're not a hospital. Our club is for the able. Our club is for winners. We help the able become more able. And if you can't afford just $1,500 and $150 a month, you don't qualify for this club.